Promotional consideration paid for by the following.
Kids need stability, loving, stable parents, and a domestic environment similar to their friends. In the next election, it's time to finally make a change. Vote yes on Proposition 43 and outlaw the nuclear family once and for all. The nuclear family is the relic of a bygone age. Like nuclear reactors, they are dirty and prone to meltdowns that will poison generations to come. Vote yes on Proposition 43. It's time for some real family values.
Shut up and sit down.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to a brand new episode of Third Shift. It's episode 459. And I, of course, am one of the hosts, Mr. Herrick. And with me today, as per usual, is the inglorious bastard himself, the man who gets to watch the sparks go this weekend. Hoo-wee! It's Mr. Matt. He's here today. We got a wonderful 4th of July right ahead of us. It's right around the corner. If you celebrate in the United States of America, be safe. Watch your fingers and your digits. Don't blow up stuff. You know how the rigmarole. And half of you won't listen and you'll hurt yourselves anyway. So it really doesn't matter.
So if you celebrate in America, be safe. If you celebrate 4th of July not in America, just blow your hands off.
Blow them right off.
No fingers.
We don't care about
just
you.
Boom, boom.
Yeah, you can blow your whole head off. Nobody cares. You're not in America. Nobody cares about anything but America. You know what I mean?
I have to say, we do care about you in Canada. The one listener I know from Canada.
All right.
We do like you. But you wouldn't be blowing stuff up for 4th of July because you're from Canada anyway. So it was a joke, but then also serious. But then now I got to be like.
But it's a joke. But is it a joke? Maybe it's a joke. We don't know.
Yeah, don't come at us in the Discord. It's a bit.
Yeah,
it's a bit.
Don't be mad. Don't be mad about it. Y'all know. Y'all understand. Anywho's, you already heard him. Mr. Matt's here. He's going to tell us about his week before we jump into the gaming news and all sorts of fun other stuff.
Oh boy. It was a good week. It was a week-long celebration, just like it's been a whole month celebration.
No, we don't do that around here.
My birthday was over the past week, so everybody all month should have been giving me all the love. It's my birthday month, my birthday week. Every single day I demand special treatment, and I deserve a little paper crown on my head, and I need people to like rub my toes and all them things. That's not what I do. I don't do it. I don't even care that much about my birthday.
He doesn't invite Eric out for a beer on his birthday. He just does his thing.
Whoa! Why should I invite you out for a beer on my birthday? Shouldn't you invite me out for a beer on my birthday? That's how it's supposed to go.
But you leave and disappear, and then you don't even say it's your birthday. You just disappear.
Of course I disappear. It's my goddamn birthday. I'm not going to work. That's the one thing I do. Everybody knows that if you've been listening to the show. I don't go to work on or around my birthday. So I did take the day off, went out to Turkeyville, which is the small family-owned restaurant / kind of like tourist little spot. It's a little farm / restaurant. They got an RV resort there, which I don't use because I don't have an RV. And I had just a nice lunch and a chill day. And it's nice because it's like 30 minutes outside of town, a little bit past Eric's neck of the woods. So even further than that. And it's just nice to just get away. And it's like, hey, this is my little spot. When I want to get away, here's where I'm going to go. Have some food, go shopping at the gift shop and just get a couple things. And I don't know, just a chill day. And then you take the back roads back. You like drive through all these country roads and all this stuff. It's good. So that was nice. The very next day, went and played some board games with our buddy James and Kevin. So that was nice too. Let's see. That's all I've been doing on the video game front. I did get in some more Mind's Eye. I think it was probably Friday or sometime over the weekend. I don't know. Played a couple more hours of that. I will reiterate again, the shooting is not great. That shooting is just, it's not bad, but it's not great. It's just fine. But man, I love just the driving out in that world, that open world-ish world when you're driving between missions and stuff, driving through the downtown area of that Las Vegas. It just feels good. Those cutscenes, man. But every time a cutscene finishes, I smile and I say to myself, man, I like this game. It's just good. It's different. It's fun. The characters, even when they're kind of weird characters, like they're endearing and they feel right. I don't know. I like it. I like that game. I also like Death Stranding 2, which I played one stream of. That was on Friday. That was my day off birthday celebration type thing. And that's been fun. I talked about that on the What You Play in Third Shift. I look forward to streaming it more this weekend and getting actually like deep into it. The one thing I'll talk about that's not special, but I didn't mention on the What You Playing is I have the green screen back here. I'm in streaming Xenogears, and behind my head, since it's a 4x3 game, I put the little Xenogears logo. Cool. No problems with the green screen, no nothing. Everything looked great, except for like one time when it got a little bit of fuzz up here, a little bit of green screen fuzz. And I went, okay, must be fine for everything then. Put the green screen up, put on Death Stranding. Now I have no logo behind me. There's like green screen fuzz everywhere. Everywhere. For an hour, I was messing around. I should grab one and shake it, but I'm afraid it'll like fall apart and then I'll make a mess. I'm messing with these LED light panels that I've got for a flipping hour. I had to like put them on my desk, which when I say it's got stuff on it, it's not like covered in junk. It's got figurines here, my laptop's over there, this and this. I had to like higgledy-piggledy two together. And then if I plugged them into the surge protector that everything else is in, stuff started crashing and powering off. I had to get a battery backup and like use a USB splitter to power these damn things. And then they crashed at the end of the stream. What a nightmare. Why did this happen to me when it was perfect before? Absolutely perfect before. The only thing I can think is that logo hid something. But I did it without the logo first, and I put the logo in, and there was no difference. But now with Death Stranding, there's a big difference. Or the one stream that I've done, anyway. What a nightmare. So there, everybody got a little behind-the-scenes info. When you saw that stream looking so perfect, and you're like, wow, he's so good. It takes hard work, and that's why it's a problem, and that's why streaming is hard, people. It's not as easy as you think it is, even though I say that it is. And then the other game I've been playing for 99% of my week, all of my free time, is 100 Line Last Defense Academy. I talked a lot about it on the What You Playing. I'm going to have to pare it back now again because Eric did tell me that he officially has bought it, so I have to be really careful with spoilers. But the one thing I'll say is I'm on the second big branching path that I mentioned. You know, I was all the way down one. I'm about to start the other. It branched off like 5 different times, and I went, okay, cool. But this has to be small because in the screen that you look at, like the path I was on took up at the time like 75% of that screen. So, okay, this big other path's got to be like 25%. No, the screen got bigger. It got bigger. Like it's diverged in many ways, and the jumps between the paths are like almost a whole screen again. I'm like, oh, brother. But it's great because every route I've gone down is amazing. The choices are so cool. And I don't know that I've mentioned it before, but what I really love is at these branching choice points, and I won't say anything spoilerific at all. If I go down one and I go all the way to the end, okay, go back to that decision. Some of them, the second after you make that decision, something new happens. Like if you go down one, like you go out into the hallway, you talk to these people, you go down this themed storyline, whatever. But then you go back and do it again. You make a slightly different decision. There's like 2 lines of dialogue. You go out in the hallway, and now those 2 people that you saw in the hallway, now they're talking about something completely different. So it's like instantly, I'm like, whoa, what's happening here? And then forks and branches down that. Oh God, it's so cool and so good. I'm actually also finding completely new things now. Ever since we did the What You Playing, I've been finding brand new things and events. It's insanity. This game never stops. I'm at like 36 endings now. So I still have so many more to go. And God, what a game. Amazing and great. What about your amazing and great week, Eric? Tell me.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. I'll tell you what, y'all, I've been literally on an adventure. I went on an adventure, okay? So Wednesday night, I got out of work, and I was given these wonderful tickets to priority club seating at a Detroit Tigers game. You know, I expected it to be pretty neat, okay? I get there, I didn't have a clue. All right, I'm in this private area, and they go, oh, blah, 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 and they're treating me like a little king man. And then I go through this private elevator that I don't even get to push buttons for. People push the buttons for me. They escort me and tell me where to go. Then I'm walking down a path, and I have 2 more people telling me I'm such a good boy, and this is how you do what you do, and you just keep walking this way. And then I get to this room, and it's not a room. It's a giant clubhouse. And then by clubhouse, I mean an entire section. Just this huge area. And I go, okay, well, this is weird. And I step inside, and there's just stations everywhere with chefs cooking foods, people serving you this and that, tables and everything. And I went, what in the hell is going on? And sure enough, you just walk around to like 9 different stations, and they're serving all sorts of wonderful delights at every station and putting them on these wonderful little plates, little pretty plates. And then you just pick whatever you want, and you eat it up, and you can walk around and talk. You can go to the standing tables. You can go to sitting tables. And mind you, the whole time there's this beautiful view of the Detroit Tigers game that's, going on literally as we're doing this. And then there's 2 different bars with everything, and all this is free. All this is part of this package included. 2 different bars serving anything you want. It's all there. Alcohol, non-alcohol, whatever you want. It's all there. And the best part is even if you didn't want to be a fancy pants and have all these chefs cooking all these wonderful delights, they had another station that was just ballpark fare. You're getting hot dogs, you're getting whatever. You're getting all the stuff that the minions downstairs are getting, you know what I mean? So you had all of these things available to you. So we're over here, we're just eating good in the neighborhood. We're eating this beautiful Wagyu beef with this sea foam and all this crap and blah, blah, blah. And I bring my father-in-law and my daughter with me. And the daughter, she just wants hot dogs and she just wants, the normal ballpark fare. So she's eating that and having a good time. Brian's over here tripping. This man, he don't eat good food. He don't like spending money. He doesn't do anything. So he's out here, he's eating this stuff and he's just doing oh my God, what is this flavor? I ain't ever seen a flavor like this. Oh, it melts in my mouth. This is insanity. So he's just he's on cloud 9. Of course, I've eaten great food before, so I know the deal. I'm still having a great time, and this is still definitely like beyond what I normally have or do. But just watching a man who's never had this kind of fare in his life, it was just had me cracking up. And then to boot, we're watching this cool game. So we finally go, all right, let's go sit down in our our actual seats. Let's go check this out. And I don't have a clue where to go. Okay, so the guides, they get me all the way down to the ground floor. Now we're with the minions, and I don't know where to go. So I just ask a helpful person. All of a sudden, boom, 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 boom. And next thing I know, I am at home base, an arm span away almost from all the Detroit Tiger players. I'm sitting right there. I'm watching them pick their nose. I'm watching them practice. I'm watching them talk to each other. And I'm 7-10 feet away from them. So what a different view. What a crazy world this was. Just to watch this game from this particular view of just watching them just kind of talk and chit-chat amongst each other, getting ready to go up and bat, and then the whole thing. Not to mention the skyline was wonderful. Detroit, in the background, Comerica Park, the Lions up on top. Man. And on top of it all, we had our own private little peeps coming down there, go, hey, what do you want? Giving us chips, Cracker Jacks, popcorn, pops, waters, whatever you wanted. They were just, here you go, here you go, here you go, here you go. And the best part was these seats were AC, man. AC'd seats. I pushed the button 3 times to max it out and push the fan. And all of a sudden my butt is just an icicle and my back's an icicle. And I'm like, yes, this is wonderful. So I can't ever go back. Story. That's the story. Is now I've had that. I can't be a normal joker no more. Mm-hmm. So what do I got to do about it? I got to go to Dennis at work and go, you need to hook me up. You need to start fighting for those tickets, because we all know those tickets actually get distributed amongst our company all the time. Mm-hmm. And it's just a matter of who's fighting for them, who's asking for them and whatnot. And I don't know this for sure, but I don't think Dennis really gives a poop about any of that for the most part, because we don't ever really see that stuff come down our chain. But I know we get a certain amount and they keep getting distributed and we're just not getting them. The fact that we got them this time and I got to go was fantastic. Thanks a whole bunch. It was awesome. But I want them all the time, Matt. That's my new style. That's my life. I need it now.
It's just like when I tell you and Howard, you got to fly first class. You go,
I never can't possibly.
Like, no. Once you experience the lap of luxury, you can't ever go back to just sitting on a hard metal, been sitting out in the sun, 90 degrees, hard metal bench. No, sir. No, sir.
No, sir. It cannot happen. So we did that. That was only the beginning, because right after that, and I'll make the rest kind of brief, I went down to Ohio, hooked up with the brother-in-law. We then drove to Washington, D.C., and we went ahead. We went and saw the Marine Corps War Memorial. We went and saw Lincoln. We saw Roosevelt. We saw Washington. We did the whole Jefferson, the whole 9. We went all over the place, saw it all. Got to see the Pentagon too, which I had no idea about a lot of this stuff. All right, the size when you see all these things, it makes it look like in the size of a football field, maybe like 2 football fields. All this stuff is right there because it's like in a cross or whatever. But when you actually go, no, it's it's huge amounts of space between them. And so I wasn't prepared for that part. There's a lot of walking involved, a lot of going on. But then the second part, Pentagon, it's a military base. It's literally got outposts, it's got turrets, outpost. It's got the whole nine, the barbed wire, the fence. I don't know. I never imagined that. I know it's a military, spot, but I just thought it was just like the White House and the rest of them just there. And then I just always imagined like CIA patrolling all over the place for whatever reason. But no, it's straight up a military base. They've got the whole gamut going there. So I had no clue. So a couple things on that little particular part of the trip, I'm like, well, that's not what I had in my mind this entire time. Okay, whatever. And then we were like, well, we're going to go to Six Flags America. Went to Six Flags America. Six Flags America is closing down at the end of this year forever. So we wanted to ride all the rides we could. That was a great time. Those rides are rough. That's probably the reason why this place is closing down, because, oh my God, I got my ass kicked on these rides. I got bruises all over the place. I ended up suffering heat exhaustion that evening and, just pooping my brains out. It was a bad, bad night. But before that all went down, we then said, man, we got like half a day left because nobody was at this park. So we rode everything like 2-3 times and it was still like 1:30. We're like, okay, well, we've had our fill. We can't ride any more rides. This is it. It hurts too much. We did it. And then we were like, dude, everything's like an hour away. We can go to Philadelphia and get some cheesesteaks. We can go to Baltimore, get some crab cakes. We can go up here. We can go do this. We can go to Jersey. You want to go there? Well, we already did Jersey. We already did this. We did that one a couple. So we ended up going to the ocean, Baltimore, sat there at the bay, eating crab cakes. So I had Maryland crab cakes, just eating it up. The meal ended up costing a freaking fortune, but it was delicious. It was great. We're just watching the birds and the fish and everything else and the boats coming in and out of the harbor. Had a wonderful time. And then, of course, drove back home. It was wild. It was just wild. A wild trip. Drove back home and then went to Kings Island, then came home to Michigan, then went straight to work the very next morning. But, of course, with all that being said, I also beat Alone in the Dark. And I talked about it on What You're Playing, so I'm not going to really talk about much of it here, but I will say the Black Goat has been handled. That's some gun. He's out of the picture. We ain't got to worry about the Black Goat no more. It was a great game. Had a lot of fun with it. I recommend it. If you like, if you're like the Dead Space type of person, this game's right up your alley. Don't let it slip by you. And then, of course, Monster Hunter Wild. It's the other game I plugged in because I'm in a rut. Also, I think I mentioned it on What You're Playing. I'm in between stuff. So I plugged that in because there's a couple new monsters. And once again, I talked about this on What You're Playing. So I won't really iterate here because you could go ahead and throw us a few bucks and then you can go listen to it over there. But I'll say, can't wait to do the one monster I didn't do. And then get some more of the wonderful little side stuff going on. But that's neither here nor there. It's been a wild week, Matt. And now we're in quarter end, and I'm sad, and it's very bad, and life is not good. But it is what it is.
So a wonderful time out in the world for you and for me. And I'm going to tell you there's a wonderful game called Shuffle Tactics, which launched on the 24th of June. Developed by Club Sandwich, published by the Arcade Crew for PC only, as far as I can tell, even though this looks like it could easily be on any other consoles. But this is, say it with me, a roguelike deck builder.
Oh.
But it's also a tactics game. So if you love tactics, units on maps and grids and things, you might want to be checking this out. When you say roguelike deck builder, every review I've seen, and I did only watch 2, but I watched one from a small channel called NRS NEO, and then another one from Admiral Vic. Like I said, when you say roguelike deck builder, you say, oh man, it's like Slay the Spire. There is a map that you go down with encounters. It's kind of laid on its side. You go horizontally instead of vertically like in Slay the Spire. But you do have units on grids, battles. And the art sort of has a look of Into the Breach. It's got like those chunky health bars, not like a low poly style, but it's like the fat pixels. Not like the skinny pixels or the very detailed pixels, but like the big chunky characters, kind of fat pixels. Looks really cool. I love the look of this game. From what I've heard, the music sounds pretty good too. If you love roguelikes and you love deck builders, this is that to infinity. You choose like one of 3 different classes. There's a melee class, there's a ranger type class, and a mage type of class. You have decks with all these cards that interact with each other in crazy ways. I think it was maybe in the NRS Neo review that I watched. He showed an example with that Ranger class where he's got ricochet shots. So if you shoot an enemy and there's another enemy within 4 squares, it can ricochet to that enemy and then keep going as long as there are new enemies. But, that doesn't happen very often. You don't usually get 4 enemies in one area. But his deck, you can also raise up the land and make a ricochet target. So as the enemies are coming to you, you could make this ricochet maze essentially if you get all the draws, on each turn to get these ricochet targets up. And then as they're coming into you, ping, 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 ping. But not only that, he also has this high ground stat on some of his other cards where you raise up the ground itself. And now that's technically, even though it's not elevation essentially, now it's like a floating platform. You jump up on that, use this other card, which also ricochets. Being on high ground gives you higher damage. Each ricochet also doubles the damage because now those 2 cards intertwine together. They have all these other, flavor texts on them that actually give you more stats and abilities and things. This sounds crazy. It could go crazy nuts. Like I said, you have 3 different characters. I believe each of them gets different sidekicks, different side characters to come with them who have their own decks and all their own abilities. This game sounds awesome. It looks awesome. It looks crazy deep. I've heard there are some bugs in there, so keep an eye on the patch notes for those kinds of things. And then the only other complaints I've heard are that, it's a roguelite deck builder. So if you don't get the draws, you can have everything set up perfect if you want to be that ranger and have your ricochet targets all set up. But if you don't get ricochet shot in the hand that you get dealt for that round, it feels kind of crummy to not have your plans go into action, but that's what you get when you have a deck builder type of a game. I mean, you can only optimize your deck so much. So, I don't know. This one looks really cool. It is only, I think, $14.99 on Steam right now. And I love the style of it. I love the look of it. I love the depth of deck builders. I love a roguelite type of a run on anything. So, I think I'll probably keep an eye on this one. I'll definitely keep an eye on those patch notes. But it looks great. If you're interested in any kind of roguelike deck builder, tactical RPG-ish type of a game, that's the other thing. I've heard the story isn't super deep and super well explained because you're going to have all these roguelite runs, but you do have shopkeepers along the way and they can kind of flesh out the world for you. So even if you are into some story, you can find it. It's just not going to be the main focus. You're going to be doing a lot of battling, a lot of deck maneuvering. But man, I don't know. Shuffle Tactics looks like a lot of fun. I wasn't able to find a bunch of reviews. Like I said, only the 2 that I could find on YouTube right now. One's very positive, one's kind of mixed. So check it out. Watch some gameplay. I think that's got a demo out. Play a demo if you're interested. It looks really cool. Shuffle Tactics. Go get it, everybody.
Indeed. While you're at that, go ahead and check out this wonderful other game that I got for you today. Now, admittedly, I don't got a ton on this one. I only watched one big review and then read up some keynotes for it. It's Mecha Break by Amazing Season Games. It's out as of now, July 1st. It came out for Xbox, PlayStation 5, and of course, PC. And I mildly remember us being a little ooh, this looks neat. Because, me and Matt both have a passive interest in mech stuff and everything else. But then it kind of disappeared. And all of a sudden it was out. And I went, oh, this game's out. Because admittedly, here, everybody, there wasn't a lot of games out this week. It was pretty slim pickings. I'm looking and I'm like, there is nothing of interest, nothing I care about. And then I saw this one and I went, well, I at least went, oh, this could be neat to this game a long time ago when I saw it initially. So this is why I'm here. This is why I'm talking about Mecha Break right now. And of course, if you don't know, this is a game where you're going to be inside of a striker, I think they're called. This is what the mech is called. And the whole point of this game is that Earth went into a huge problem, had a huge issue, and then went into an energy crisis, and they found this brand new material, Porlite or something like that, and everybody was like, yay, we solved the problem. However, this stuff creates these fading zones and other issues on the planet. So now you got these factions that are fighting over, of course, the material itself, and then, of course, what the repercussions of using it are. Hence, here we are with these strikers, whom also are the only ones who can go into these fading zones without dying. So they got multiple purposes and reasons for being there. They're fighting over the resources, they're fighting over the land, they're fighting over the cause and the reasons why they're using this stuff. And now you got your story. Big, gigantic mechs go head-to-head with one another, and then the winner gets all the cool spoils and whatnot. There's a 6v6 mode, there's a 3v3 mode, and then, of course, there's missions and objectives while you're in these said modes to complete whilst your teams are fighting one another. It's a third-person mech shooter, and, of course, there's a ton of different abilities, and there's it's 5 different classes. You got your attacker, your defender, your healer / support, then you got your brawler and your sniper, and, of course, you got to learn to use them within their limits and abilities from what I hear, the defender's like extremely powerful right now, and the attacker's pretty good, but the others are kind of iffing in and kind of wonky. But they, of course, with this game, I'm sure there'll be a lot of like, changing of details and HP and all the different specs and damage output and whatnot. So I'm sure they're going to work on it. Based off the reviews I saw, the environments themselves are really cool. The loadouts, the actual maps that you're fighting on are very well done. However, there isn't a lot of like weather changing and whatnot going on that kind of just changes up the whole game. It's pretty solid. It's pretty basic. The story is very light. I just told you the story, and apparently in the game itself, it is pretty just, hey, here's the situation. Now you're in the striker going against one another. But that's what, to me, who cares? This game isn't really about a big story. It's not an RPG. It's not some, adventure game. It's about you getting in these mechs, using the different abilities, going around the map, and then just smoking your opponents whilst completing the objectives. And from everything I've seen so far, it looks like it does just that, just fine, minus, of course, the tweaks and whatnot that are going to have to be done on, what characters are weak and strong, et cetera, et cetera. That's with every PvP type game that I've ever played in my life. They're going to have to adjust. So overall, right now, it's looking pretty solid from what I see. And if you are just a big mech fan and love the animes and all the other stuff based off and around mech, this is another title I encourage you to go look at for yourself, because visually speaking, looked really solid. The HUDs and everything looked really cool, really crisp. Had a lot going on, but not too much going on. You could clearly see, the arena and the fighting. So definitely check it out. Mecha Break, out right now for you if you are interested.
And it's out right now for you if you got Game Pass, because it's free on the Game Pass right now, along with innumerable other games. Well, I guess I could numer them. There are 4 other games: Ultimate Chicken Horse, Rise of the Tomb Raider, Little Nightmares 2 Enhanced Edition, and Call of Duty World War II. Go check those out if you got the Game Pass. I mean, God, Eric just told you a game that's right now. It dropped day 1 on Game Pass. Go check that out. It's awesome.
It is indeed awesome. And of course, a little bonus game that's not in our little hoo-ha here that is free. It's on Steam, and it's only there until like July 6th, everybody. It's Ampersat. I don't know what this is. It's an indie game. I think it's like an adventure game or something like that. But it's really, really free right now, but only for a couple days. So you should probably go get that one. And of course, if you're also looking for free stuff, you can always go to Epic, where you're getting some free games every freaking week, because that's what they do. And this week's is Backpack Hero and Figment. I don't know anything about either of those games, but they're there for free for you.
I do know Backpack Hero. I know I've seen Knowable stream it 1 or 2 times, and that's your little pack rat with a big old pack. And then the items you find, you have to like Tetris them into your pack, but then you use them in this like roguelite, I think, type of runs to get deeper and get more things to put in your pack. It actually looks like a lot of fun, so I'm excited to get that one. Over on Amazon, you got 2 amazing games, one which I looked up earlier and one which I just looked up, so I did my due diligence this time. The first one is Box's Lost Fragments, which is a 3D object puzzle game. So not Popa, it's not hidden objects, but it looks kind of like there's a mobile series called like The Room, or like where you're like manipulating a puzzle box and you swipe all around. That's kind of what this looks like. And then you also have Pack-a-Rat Down the Bun Burrows. I think it's like a puzzly kind of explority game where you're finding little bunnies down in the bunny burrows as you're digging deeper and doing stuff. So, man, if you want to figure out puzzles and find some bunnies, Amazon's got you covered.
Damn, they do indeed got you covered. And let me tell you this. I didn't say this in my What You Doing, How's the Week Going, Matt, but I got to say it, and I'm not letting it slip. This week's also been another weird week for me, Matt. I got an addiction problem.
That's right. Yeah, yes, you do.
I do indeed. Magic released its Final Fantasy series, okay? And I said I was going to buy 3 packs. I was like, I'm going to buy 3 packs. Just see what happens. Get some cool cards, man. It'll be neat. So I'm about $180 deep in this now, Matt. It's not good. Not good. I'm going to get in trouble. I'm going to get in so much trouble. Oh, man. But I've been buying cards. And I just bought a pack today.
Nice.
I just bought another one. No, this pack actually sucked, except for I did get an Arch Series Final Fantasy card, and it's Jill, okay, from FF16, and it's freaking gorgeous, man.
Nice.
I wish I could show the audience.
Oh,
there it is.
That's beautiful.
It's beautiful. It's wonderful. I am so happy with this card. I can't wait to get it in its sleeve so it stays safe and wonderful for me. But the art on these cards, people, it's fantastic. It's phenomenal.
Now, you mentioning that brings up, it was like 2 hours ago. I was sitting here, I went and got like a snack and came back down and went, I need to look up that Magic stuff that Eric's talking about. And I hovered my fingers over the keyboard, and then one of the tabs that was open, and this is not game related at all, but it distracted me from doing exactly what you just did. And it was, hey, did you know that old Norm Macdonald movie, Dirty Work? They actually found and restored the dirtier cut of it because it was originally rated R. And on Vinegar Syndrome, they've released it. And I went, sweet. Went straight to there. There's this movie out there. There's this movie. There's this one. There's this one. I loaded my card up with like $200 worth of Blu-rays and was like,
what am I doing with my life?
So I've done the other thing. I would have spent all that money on the Magic cards, but now I'm spending it on Blu-rays, and it's a bad thing. I got addictions too. But I mean, for God's sakes, Virtuosity, one of my favorite 90s movies. They got like some special big old box special case with the slipcover. Oh, I can't say no to that.
No.
Anyway, that's my rant over, but sorry.
That's neither here nor there. Look, and I'll tell you this isn't even the coolest one, Matt, but I got another Torgal. It's even better than this one, but this one's really cool too. Like if I can get it into the screen without it being all jacked up. Oh, I'm not about to show you. No, the colors are too crazy, huh?
Oh.
There you go, a little bit.
Oh, hell yeah. There we go. Oh, that's a fine hound.
Torgal, a fine hound, and I've got actually duplicates of him, so maybe I'll give this one to you.
Hell yeah.
So you'll have Torgal. But yeah, so I used to play Magic a long time ago, and I used to collect Magic cards a long time ago. And so it's kind of opened a nostalgia box. I like nostalgia. I'm not like hooked on nostalgia, but it did open that up again. And I'm like, man, maybe I should make a deck since I'm $180 deep and I have like, a stack this high full of Magic cards again. And I go, no, Eric, you can't even play D&D once a month most times and play your video game. You can't add this to it. Plus, nobody else plays, so you're not really going to play. Yeah. It's a whole thing. It's a whole thing, everybody. It's a problem. We gotta fix ourselves.
Okay, no, it's another side story. They used to have a Star Wars collectible card game. I was a Star Wars fiend back in the day, so I bought like a whole binder's worth, they had those cardboard boxes with sports cards. I filled up one of those with all those. I think Mom asked me once, hey, who are you going to play that against? Who are you going to play that with? And nobody. This is just for me, I guess. Awesome. So I know you're paying, Eric. I know it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know. It is mostly a shame, but I do enjoy it. And I like, now I want to bring them to work and show you and all my sleeved ones that I got and how cool it is. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. But nothing's crazier than Xbox laying off God knows how many people, man. God knows how many people.
It was like 9,000 people. I did report the rumor about this last week.
Yeah.
But it was actually confirmed game cancellations, layoffs. There were a couple actual whole teams that are gone. Microsoft Studio, The Initiative, that was working on the Perfect Dark reboot.
Yeah, the quadruple A team that was working on Perfect Dark. Mm-hmm.
It's weird because the big names that were listed here were Perfect Dark getting canceled and Rare's Everwild. And all the news stories I saw were like, oh, we can't believe it. I'm not downplaying it at all. It sucks when teams close and games get canceled. That sucks. It sucks for everybody involved. But I went, man, when's the last time we saw Perfect Dark? Summer of 2024.
Last year.
So it was only a year ago. Then I went, what's Everwild? What is that? I saw a screenshot and I went, what is this? And I Googled, and the trailers I found were from 5 years ago.
Yes.
So that, again, not to downplay it, that game was not coming out.
It was never coming out. No. The Perfect Dark one surprised me.
Yeah.
Because the initiative, like I said, was supposed to be this big quadruple A team they were bringing together to do this whole thing. Perfect Dark, they showcased last year. You got to see it. It was a game. It's a game.
And it sounded and looked pretty neat. It looked different and strange, like I said, but I watched the trailer again today and it looked pretty cool. Yeah. A cool idea anyway.
So that one was a little surprise to me. And then, of course, just acing them and getting rid of the whole team and shutting it all down. That was a shocker. But the Everwild, yeah, no, who thought ever that this game was coming out? It has been around forever. It's been through a million different hands, a million different iterations. Nobody could tell you what this game actually was because I don't think anybody knew what the damn game was, to be honest. It was just an idea and it never came to fruition. And a lot of years got spent and wasted on this particular product because nobody knew what the hell was going on. And Rare really screwed the pooch with this because it's Rare. Rare is Rare, man. And you're going to you wasted all these years on this freaking product that never was anything. Ugh, it annoys me.
And what annoys me now is I don't remember ever hearing about this. Maybe in the early days of the show, we did see, a trailer for this and I wrote it down somewhere.
Yeah, I remember it specifically.
Okay. But when I went back and watched the trailer, I went, oh man, this looks like a cool world. And obviously all the trailer was here's the kind of world that you're in and here's the kind of stuff you're going to be doing. But I went, man, I really wish that turned into a game. But over 5 years, it did not turn into a game. And so I am sad, but it is kind of weird. I don't know. It's strange to hear of projects getting canceled when you haven't ever heard about them. Like when EA canceled that Black Panther game.
Mm-hmm.
Like I had no idea that existed. I don't know. Strange and sad days. Like I said last time, it's bad news. Today, now it is actually really bad news.
Yeah, and then of course, that 9,000 is Microsoft as a whole.
Right.
So not all of it will be game divisions and stuff. And Phil Spencer came out, gave a whole spiel on the thing, and said, I understand that you guys know and we know that this is actually one of the most profitable years ever for us, and we're doing great. And but still, we have to consolidate. We have to change what we're doing, and blah 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 blah. Just a bunch of words and whatnot. It does it sucks, but I don't know. I see the corporate world. I'm part of it.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to happen. It's going to happen more. It ain't over yet. Microsoft's huge, and their gaming division is also huge, and they're not going to be able to sustain all of it forever, especially if you're not putting out a game that's going to get the attention of players and get you millions of, buys and stockholders are happy, blah, 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 blah. So I get it. They're going to take these things and they're going to have to look at it with a harsh eye and go, we just don't think this is going to produce numbers we need. And then you're out of here. You're out of here. But at the other end of that, as a lot of podcasts will tell you, and I'm in agreement, this is leadership decisions, making these calls to add in all these different developers, get these games rolling, do all this stuff. Oh, no, we don't think it's going to work. And then instead of them being punished because they made poor decisions 3, 4, or 5 years ago, nope, it's just the regular employee who is trying their best. They all get fired. They all get screwed. They all go home. And the leadership just goes, and then just marches on to the beat and goes on another venture, stupid idea, or good idea. It's, it goes both ways, but it is annoying to see and to hear.
One last bit on this from me is, like I said, I went to watch the trailers for both of those games. So I looked for Perfect Dark Reboot and I looked for Everwild. And every YouTube thing that came up that wasn't the trailer, I had to find the Perfect Dark trailer buried like 6 videos down. The Everwild trailer actually was on the top, but every other video after it was Everwild canceled. Microsoft, Xbox is completely shutting down. Xbox is completely dead. I think it was Dreamcast guy in his title said, all games are canceled. All games are canceled. Xbox is gone. Everwild, Perfect Dark, Call of Duty has all been canceled. What? I hate this. I hate
Sensational.
it. I hate it. It's a blatant lie. I mean, some Call of Duty team members did lose their jobs as part of this, but
yeah, Raven Studios.
But they didn't cancel all Call of Duties. They didn't cancel all games. Xbox isn't. I hate the way that YouTube and the red text and the big arrows and the hands on the side of your face going, "Rrr." I hate that. I hate it. I just had to say it.
And it was Raven, but also Sledgehammer got some losses, and also High Moon, apparently, who also does some Call of Duty stuff. So all of them got hit. I just knew about Raven in particular.
Yeah.
But and the last part I'll say on this one, because there's a lot of stuff happening, but you go read it yourself. I will say that the last bit is that it really does suck. Suck the big one. That the new MMO that was, ASO Online, those Yahoos.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
ZeniMax. They were doing a brand new MMO, and that got canceled.
Mm.
And that one's a bummer to me because I don't play ASO, but I've been my heart's been aching for a new MMO with graphics that are to speed, today's day and age, to come out and actually get a grip and be the next thing. Because I love World of Warcraft, don't get me wrong, but I need it to be better. I want an MMO that looks gorgeous. And I know it can be there and I know it can happen, but nobody's done it yet. And apparently now it won't be ZeniMax, and that's a bummer.
And on top of that, I'm not even an MMO guy, but I know that everybody loves ESO. Like the stuff they've done with ESO, it doesn't get like Final Fantasy 14 numbers, but each time they have a new pack or a new world or a new expansion or whatever, everybody seems to love it. So if they were working on something also brand new, you know those guys are full of awesome ideas because they've had a track record of supporting this for this damn long and coming out with new content all the time. It just sucks to have that just get turned down. Like I said, not for me anyway, because I'm not an MMO guy, but they've got a track record of doing MMOs right. So to have your MMO project canceled, that sucks.
It does indeed. And sticking with the suck news, Outriders 2, according to Forbes and Paul Tassi, was already pretty much done. They were in the last phases. Everything was wrapped up. They were just doing some motion capture and whatnot. And then Square Enix and them had some issues or whatever. There's no big in-depth details, but basically Square Enix was kind of having second thoughts apparently or whatever. And it was just canceled, gone. That was one of the 2 projects that People Can Fly was working on that we knew about back in the day that got canceled. Outriders 2 was indeed one of them, now confirmed, and it was right there. It was at the end. We were gonna finally get back in the groove, Matt. Me and you. We was gonna.
No. We were gonna skip every story cutscene, and we were just gonna shoot things. That's
just
what we
play
were
the
gonna
game
do.
and never listen to a voice in our lives. Oh man, because by golly, those characters were something else.
Oh my
and
God.
they just reminded us of work so hard. But the mechanics, the just the looting and the shooting was just fantastic. They did such a wonderful job. And now we'll never get any more. And just a bummer. I'm honestly sad about it. It sucks. I don't know how this stuff works, but I wish Square Enix would just let them give it to another publisher or something and allow them to make it. Because the game is done, apparently. And that's just crazy to me that there's, okay, well, now it just doesn't exist and never will. This thing that was pretty much finished with a couple extra things on top, and now it just will never come out. And I don't know, just annoying, because I did enjoy Outriders. I know me and Matt, talk about the peeps and the story part, which got to be so stupid at the end that it was almost unbearable. But I loved the abilities, and I loved getting the different weapons and the synergy between it all. I had a great time with it.
As many issues as I did have with Outriders, specifically with the story, this feels like one of those franchises that could be like Rage, where like the original is fine but not great, and then you could go crazy with Outriders 2. Crazy characters, crazy colors, crazy environments, even more over the top abilities. So I saw this on here, and my initial reaction was, but then I went, but it could have been so much better. The first game was good, but this could have been like wild and crazy depending on what it would have been. That does suck to hear, especially if it was basically finished. Well, just like we always say, just put it out. Just like with Concord. Why did you take it away? Just leave it. Just leave it.
Yeah.
It's fine. Just leave it. It's there. Just like, I think it was just today, Bioware confirmed that they're finally shutting down Anthem in January. And that's another case of, obviously, Anthem didn't launch well. It didn't get to do its revamp thing. It's kind of like the big running joke for everybody. And that's why I put jokey stuff in the show notes. But again, I just said it with Outriders, with Concord and all this other stuff. Just leave it. If you're going to take away this online-only game, now nobody can ever play it again. And granted, it didn't get the great reception and all that stuff, but from what I understand, there's a solid game in there. Why not let 2 people, 20 people, 100 people jump in that server whenever they want, do some quests, relive the glory days? It's there. It's already there. Bioware, you're not... No, never. I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to say Bioware, you're not doing much better with anything else. Just leave it. Just leave it alone. Just let people still play it.
No, you can say that. BioWare is dropping everything. BioWare is not a company that's worth even following anymore. So you let them die. They're not what they were. I don't think they're ever going to get it back again. So I'm just disappointed with BioWare on every front. Dragon Age are failing. I assume they're probably going to just fail with Mass Effect 2. Anthem obviously didn't do what it was supposed to do, and I got a soft spot. I loved Anthem. I had a great time with Anthem, but the end game sucked. And it pissed me off because at that point, there were already a million MMOs to look at. So how did you think you were just going to get away with not having an end game in a online game? You knew you had to have something, and you didn't. And then you go, oh, but we will. And then, of course, the stories came out about how the game was revamped like 2-3 different times. Obviously, we knew the different directors trying to salvage it and make it out. And this whole damn thing. But the game and the fundamental parts of said game were awesome.
And that's the thing that's always stood out for me. Like, I'm not an MMO guy anyway, so, oh man, we don't have stuff for you to grind. Great. But every time I've seen people flying around, shooting stuff, it just looks like a fun game. It's like Mind's Eye in reverse. It looks fun. It looks solid. It looks like you can play it and have a good time. Obviously, there's other issues here and there, but it's just there. Just leave it. Because there are fans out there, and they do want to still play it. Just leave it.
Yeah.
You're not covering 1,000 servers all over the world. You have like your 2 Bioware servers that are just blow the dust off them. They'll be fine.
Go.
Just leave it.
You're not losing that much money. Or take the time to create an offline mode to where at least the campaign could be played. This is the same argument we did with Battleborn back in the day.
Yep.
At least make an offline mode so we can just play through the story stuff and whatnot. That's all you had to do it. So at least we could play the damn game if we really wanted to put it in and got an itch for it instead of getting rid of it. But oh no, we can't do that. Can't be bothered.
Oh, you have a disc that has a bunch of data on it? Well, that's just completely useless now. Just throw it in a bin. Oh well.
And then of course, a side note, we brought up Battleborn, we brought up useless discs. I went to my local game store and bought me a physical copy of Battleborn. So I'd have it in perpetuity, in the words. I got it there forever. Because I, of course, got it digital back in the day when we, got into it. And so, no, I got one now.
I did too, but I got one, I think, right as they put the servers offline. I think I got one off of Amazon for like $10. So
yeah, I'd been meaning to do it forever, just never did. And then finally, I was there for a whole nother reason. I went, hey, so where you got all them Battleborn copies at? Because I know you got them. Everybody's got them. Somebody's got them. And then the guy literally starts laughing at me, and he goes, it's funny you say that because we all agreed, yes, we had 1 million of them back in the day, and we thought we were screwed. But surprisingly, if you price them at $5-10, they just go. But I got one more, and I go, yes, you do. And I got the one more. Nice. So I got, unless he's lying, but whatever. He said I got his last one of Battleborn physical copies, and it's not in the greatest shape, but it's not in bad shape. So I'm a little sad about that. I was hoping to get one, mint condition, but such is life. So that's a whole aside, but anywho's, there you go.
Mine's in mint condition. Oh,
man. Always one up with me.
And then one last bit of news here. I know Eric probably didn't have a chance to see it.
I didn't.
I barely had enough time to see it today, but they had the Bandai Namco Summer Showcase, I think just yesterday. So I watched that during my afternoon off, and there were a couple things I wanted to mention out of here. They didn't show off a ton of new stuff for a bunch of these, but it was kind of that, like the Capcom showcase type of thing. You see a trailer, you talk to a dev, they'd show some gameplay and all that other jazz. But they showed off some more Shadow Labyrinth, that creepy Pac-Man Metroidvania. They showed off like a big boss fight against one of the G-host enemies towards the end of the game, showing off like the big mech transformation that Pac-Man can make you go into. It looked pretty cool. I mean, it looked sort of basic, maybe a little bit floaty, but it looked good. It looked like fun, parries and dodges and all that other stuff. They also showed off a lot more of Digimon Story Time Stranger, talking about the Digimon effects and leveling them up and assigning your skills and doing all this other stuff and running through this town that's all run by the Digimons. And man, seeing those like 70s style characters running around just made me just start drooling and like foaming at the mouth even more. Like, I've said it before. I don't even know Digimon. Like, I know the basics of it.
Digimon.
I don't even know what you're talking about right now. But God, the game just looks good. It just looks like fun. And the guy they had talking about it, the Japanese developer dude, he was like super engaging and he made it sound cool and look cool. And I don't know, man, it looked cool. But then the other one, it was in the first half of the show, but I'm going to talk about it last, was Toa and the Guardians of the Sacred Tree. This looked like Japanese folklore Hades. Like it was that Hades style. They said it was a roguelite. They had all kinds of different characters you could pick who had all kinds of different powers. You pick 2 at a time to go into these dungeons with, and big flashy abilities. But then they were also showing you go back to town, just like you did in Hades after your run, talk to all the side characters around there, build up their side stories, go out for quests for them. But then I think they were also showing between levels of the run you were going on, there were a lot of what looked like camp scenes. So maybe after you've gone through the forest and beaten the boss of the forest, you have a camp scene with all the characters talking to each other, just cool looking characters. One's like a samurai type of a girl, one's like a fish dude, like a big koi fish man. There's like a sprite looking girl. It just looked really cool. I don't remember ever hearing about this before. And I mean, I love my Hades, and that's basically what this looks like, but all with polygonal characters in a 3D type of world, but man, bright colors, really cool looking. Like, those unique Japanese folklore style designs for all the enemies. That looked great. Then the other two games also looked good. There was a bunch of other stuff in there too, like Little Nightmares and stuff like that. But I wanted to highlight those three, and especially Toa and the Guardians of the Sacred Tree. I'm going to be looking out for that one.
I'll definitely go give this a watch, but yeah, I totally missed it. I had no idea it was even coming out. Shadow Labyrinth is one I've been interested in. I've talked about it on the show prior. I'm not going to say I'm going to buy it day one. It's one of those ones I want to watch what the reviews are. I want to see what's going on because it's got my interest, but I know how these games can be. They look cool, look great, and then it's kind of being meh. So I'm definitely wanting to see another trailer on this, and definitely can't wait to see more on it in general. So yeah, I'll probably watch this one, maybe after the show tonight.
Hell yeah, absolutely. And since the show is almost over, Eric needs extra time here because it's time for Uncle Matt's Trivia Corner.
Oh, God, I'm scared.
And he missed out last week, so I am actually being a nice fella and letting him answer. Last week's question, as you all remember and Eric doesn't. In Limbo, what kind of creature briefly captures the boy near the start of the game?
That's the spider.
Correct. You get a point, good sir. And it actually doesn't get bleeped this time, but now, this week's question. I'll read the question out and then I will clarify the question because I don't think it's a fair question on its own. The question is, in which game did Katana first appear as a playable character? Now, the clarification is, which Mortal Kombat game? The Mortal Kombat character Katana.
Okay.
Which one of those games did she first appear?
Mortal Kombat.
Incorrect. It is...
Oh, my God. Damn it.
I feel like I knew that one, but if you had asked me out of the blue, there's no way I would have gotten it.
I was sure it was though.
Yeah.
I was sure it was I don't know why, but I felt very sure it was That sucks.
I feel like... But if you all know the answer to that question, only the one question, you don't get double points for answering the previous question again. Send that to us, or any comments, questions, concerns, any more mailbag questions. I swear to God, we're going to get to that mailbag question, but we started running long, so we couldn't do it today. Send that to us via the email, thirdshiftme@gmail.com, on the Twitter machine @ThirdShiftME, find us on Facebook under Third Shift, hit up the Discord, the Patreon. If I'm streaming, hit up a stream. If I'm home, just knock on the door and I won't answer, but you can feel good because you found my house, and I don't know how to feel about that, but don't do that. Don't do that to me.
I know how you can feel good and find my house. Go get my mower out of the garage, go back to the backpack, and then use the mower to get rid of some of the shrubs and bull snips that's back there because I did it for about a half hour today and I was drenched in sweat. All right. So if you want to come to my house, I got work for you. I got a pressure washer too that I'd love to get out and do a little pressure washing on the old driveway. So you know who I'm talking to. Come on over to my house. I got a pressure washer ready to go, and I've got some land that needs pressure washing. I got a whole thing going on here. I could use you all as indentured servants to the end of days. So come on to my house. I invite you. Come on out. We got fun times ahead.
And you guys wonder why Eric says, well, Matt won't ever come out to my house, because that's why. He'd be like, well,
while you're here, Matt, you think you help me for a half hour before we have some beers?
He'd be like my mom back when I was a kid. Hey, can you drive me to Ben's house? Yeah, sure. After you clean the cat litter, do the dishes, take the trash out. Come on now. We're sitting here doing nothing before that. Mm-hmm. So I'd come over like, hey, brother, before we go downstairs, Amanda says you got to help me move this couch. No, I'm driving home.
I'm just leaving. I'm not staying. I get it. I understand. But if you don't want to come stalk me at my house and end up helping me with all my chores and tasks, you can go to Patreon and you can go throw $1, $2, $3, $4, $5, $6. All the dollars our way. And we will be so happy. We'll say, oh my goodness, thank you so much. You're so great to us. And we'll be very, very appreciative of it because it helps. Kelps. I was thinking about kelp today. Sorry, everybody. It helps pay the bills, helps keep the lights on. You know what the dealio is. But if you can't do that, you can go over and give us a 5-star rating on Apple Podcasts, a 5-star rating on the iTunes. No, iTunes are dead. That's Apple Podcasts. It's the frickin' Spotify that you can give us 5-star reviews on. And you can go over to the Twitch stream and give us your freaking $5 of Prime money. Boop, 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 boop. Matt will like, woohoo! And he won't even see it though because he doesn't have it set up to see Prime money. So he won't say thank you for that.
Yes, I do.
I don't understand. Why when I do it, it doesn't do it?
I think it's because you and I are set up as mods. So it probably goes, we can't show that. But
show that because you're the freaking person who runs the thing. Why would they show that?
But like when Mom's pops up, I always see it and I always say thanks.
Okay.
So it does work. It does work. Don't listen to him, folks.
It does work, everybody. Disregard what I say. Disregard. But get over there and do it. It's Prime's money, not yours. It doesn't hurt anybody and it only helps us. It's a wonderful thing. Or go to Discord and hop in and have some conversations, have some fun with us, or throw a mailbag question our way, which we will eventually get to someday. We will do it. It'll happen. We appreciate them for sure. We really do, honestly.
Yes.
And it's just, we'll get there. We'll get there.
And speaking of getting there, you can get to the very next episode if you're still around on the 10th of July. You can find that on iTunes, on Stitcher, on Podbean, on Spotify, and on YouTube. And as I always say, hey, if you like what we're doing, like to help us out, please give us a like, a rating, review, a comment, a subscription, any kind of good thing on any of those good services, because it does help us out. And we really do appreciate it.
Indeed we do. Just like we appreciate those 5-star reviews. Matt was threatening you, I think. I was trying to sugarcoat everything and make you happy about it. Matt hasn't told me we got any. And here we are, 4th of July. America's holiday. The stars are shining and bright. Fireworks are going. The bald eagles are flying overhead. And what better way to celebrate than a 5-star review? I think you should do your due diligence and get on there and throw some 5-star reviews our way. Today, right now, as you speak, while you're pooping and getting ready to set off fireworks and have a lot of acid digestion and a lot of diarrhea because you're eating smoked food, get us a 5-star review. I know you're going to be on that toilet, and I know you're going to be drinking beers and peeing a lot. You can take the time to give a 5-star review in between any of those little bathroom breaks you take, and I'd appreciate it so much. And Matt would too.
And, we always call for, it'd be a great Christmas gift, be a great birthday gift, be a great St. Patty's Day gift. You know what? If you're not from America, if you ain't from the U.S. of A., be a great 4th of July gift.
That's right.
Go on that iTunes and give us that 5-star review. Write a review and say, Happy 4th of July, you fuckers.
That's right.
And I'll go, yeah, America, yeah, here we go.
Then I'll send the bald eagle emoji. Flying overhead.
Yeah, we'll go, even though that's not the noise they make. They sound like beep, beep or something, but it's fine. It's fine. It's a meme. It's a bit. Don't add America. It's a bit.
Don't worry about it. You don't worry about what a bald eagle sounds like. You ain't got the brains to even think about it.
You wouldn't even know. It doesn't even fly to your country.
They're only in America.
Until next time, there's nothing else to say but...
Don't forget to say...